You were fine a minute ago. Then, out of nowhere, you're flooded. Rage or fear or a grief that sits on your chest. Nothing dangerous is happening, but your body doesn't seem to believe that. If that flood is familiar, it has a name. In the next few minutes, what it actually is, why it feels so real, and what brings you back. Before we start, let out one long breath, slower on the way out than the way in. An emotional flashback is a surge of feeling that belongs to something that already happened, but it arrives with no image. No scene plays behind your eyes. That's the part that fools people. Just the feeling turned all the way up, as if the danger were happening today. And how it's stored is the key, because a memory filed wrong can be refiled. An emotional flashback tends to leave 3 fingerprints. Once you can name them, they lose a little of their grip. The first is how fast it arrives. You were okay, and then, all at once, you weren't. No runway, no warning. The second is the force of it. The feeling floods in quicker than thought, before you can talk yourself down. And the third is that the size is wrong. What you feel is enormous, and what's actually in the room doesn't come close to explaining it. If you recognize those 3, you're not broken. You're spotting a pattern, and spotting it is where the ground starts to come back. Here's why it feels so real. An ordinary memory gets filed away with a timestamp on it. A good meal with a friend last spring, you can picture it, and you know it's behind you. Your body stays calm because the memory is dated. Trauma gets stored differently. When the alarm part of your brain is screaming, the calm filing never gets to happen. So the memory lands with no date on it, just raw feeling, tagged as danger. And when something stirs it, your survival brain reads it as right now, not back then. A trigger is whatever flips that switch. A raised voice, a certain smell, a song, a particular time of year, a tone in a message you weren't ready for. The alarm fires before your thinking brain has even caught up to what happened. That's not you overreacting. That's biology moving faster than thought. Maybe it comes as rage or a fear that grips you, a helplessness with nowhere to go, sinking down into despair. Every one of those is real. Every one of them makes sense given what you've carried. But the danger they're warning you about is behind you. Not in this room, not in this moment. If you've seen our video on the window of tolerance, this is what being thrown out of that window feels like from the inside. A flashback is your brain time traveling to a threat that's already over. So every one of these tools does one job. It drags the clock back to today. 5 things you can see, 4 you can feel, 3 you can hear, 2 you can smell, and 1 you can taste. Each one is proof you're in this room, not back in that memory. Then slow the breath down. In for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, hold for 4. A racing breath tells your brain the threat is now. An even one tells it the danger is past. Then name today, out loud, the date, where you are, how old you are right now. You're not fighting the feeling, you're stamping today's date onto it. Not every tool fits every person. If one pulls you further under, set it down and reach for a different one. That's not doing it wrong. None of these erase the memory. That's not their job. They just bring you back to the year you're actually living in. That last one, naming today, is doing more than it looks like, because a flashback is a filing error. When you say the date out loud, you're not comforting yourself. You're correcting the file. You're not arguing with the feeling, and you're not talking yourself out of it. You're handing your brain the timestamp the trauma never got to write. It helps to know what grounding can and can't do. Grounding is what keeps you steady while the wave moves through. It carries you through the day. What it doesn't do is change the memory underneath, and it was never built to. That deeper part is its own kind of work. Trauma-focused therapies, approaches like EMDR or CPT, are made to help the memory finally settle and lose its charge. You can need both, the tool for the moment and the work for the wound. There's no shame in reaching for the deeper kind of help. Every tool we just walked through is for the moment a flashback hits. It's first aid, not the repair, and it was never meant to be. So if the flashbacks are near daily or getting stronger, or you're starting to have thoughts of hurting yourself, that's the point to bring in a licensed trauma professional. That call isn't a white flag. It's how the deeper work finally gets the right hands on it. Complex PTSD responds to treatment. The part that changes the memory isn't a part you have to carry by yourself. So when the feeling floods in, hold on to this. That wasn't weakness. That was a memory your brain never got to file. It means you could use some help sorting it, not that something is wrong with who you are. Before you go anywhere, let the last few minutes settle. That was heavy, and you stayed with it. That counts for something. If you'd like these to find you when you need them, you're welcome to subscribe. And a quiet tap of the like helps this reach the next person who needs it, the way you did tonight. For now, be kind to yourself tonight. The flood always passes, and you're still here.